We not even gonna wait. My goodness. Jennifer came first, bringing the conviction. You know, she came through with the conviction and was owning up and accountability. And then Miss Morgan came through with, my goodness, all kind of power, just everything she was saying. Then she went into it. She was feeling that. My goodness. My goodness.
Boy.
We just went live. I know we just went live, but y'all missed the prayer session. Oh, my goodness, my goodness. Hey, man. When God validates himself, it's something. You know when he tells you something, I said it, do it. These are the people. You already know. But then once you see why, and these people show you why, and it's validating why, my goodness. That's all I got to say, man. If y'all tuning in now, just, hey, man. Yeah. He said that's what it was. That's what it was, man. That's what it was. My goodness. My hat's off to both of y'all. One of y'all driving and still was able to come with that. Yeah. Hey. Ooh.
I feel like some of them old Baptist preachers. My God, my God.
yeah. I'm trying not to say that. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying not to say that right there. My God, my God. Oh, man. Yeah. It's kind of hard to go right into the bed after that. But, man, hey, if y'all just not tuning in, thank you for tuning in because we just went live. But that prayer was good. That prayer hit my soul. Look, that's how I know I'm getting old. I know I'm getting old now. Because usually people pray at church and I'll be in there like, oh, that was a real good prayer. But now it's like it's touching a different part that used to not be there or they used to not care. Now it's touching something else. And that prayer touched that spot. My goodness, like my soul just got happy. That's how I know I'm sounding like an old person. But it did. Man, that was good. That was good.
You wanted to get up and run, huh?
No, I ain't about to do that. I ain't about to get up and be running.
You
Unless the
felt the
Lord,
leap though in your
yeah, just the
spirit,
Lord
man,
just
though,
make you get up
didn't
and
you?
run. But yeah, that's when you put your hands in the air and some people let out a loud shout like they be talking about. And you be like, that's so
Yeah.
country. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, but it make you feel like this. So that
Yes,
there, my
yes,
goodness. Hey man.
yes.
Hey man. Say
You
man,
get to
look.
understand why you hear that shout,
Yeah.
why you see that move side to side.
And people can't be still. And then the pastor can't preach for a long time. That what y'all just missed was that. That's wild. Ah, that's wild. I'm gonna put up the look. I said we starting early. I'm starting early and still not starting on time. How is that a see what I'm saying? That's some oxymoron type of stuff. We started 4 minutes early and we still not starting on time. It was that good.
That's why I just stopped praying because I out of time. But yeah,
Oh no,
good.
hey. Like
No,
I
we're
said.
good. No, we're good. I don't really care to pray, so we good.
Yeah. Like I said, hey, we gonna push this here can get pushed back. You know what I'm saying? This here can get pushed back. The bid always gonna be there. These books are gonna be there. That prayer, if God got you saying something like that, hey man. Yeah, well, I don't care. We get started an hour late. I'm like, oh, if we got to push the bid the next week, God giving you something like that, both of y'all, He give y'all something like that. Hey, you come with it. Come with it. I understand. I ain't gonna stifle you. I ain't gonna hinder you. You come forth for what the Lord is saying. And the Holy Spirit was giving you utterance right then, because that's what it say. The Holy Spirit, we don't know what to pray. It said the Holy Spirit is gonna give you utterance of what to say, and He was giving you utterance right there. Oh my goodness.
I feel like, look, when you got an old school lawnmower and you pulling that cord, that was the prayer. You hear that vroom, 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 it's starting up. That was the startup for real, for real.
Yeah, yeah, my goodness. I'm telling y'all too, Ms. Zavala and Miss Morgan. Y'all to set the tone. Yeah, y'all to set
Yes,
the
Lord. Yes,
tone, man.
Lord. Yes, Lord.
All right. And I did get word. A couple of people say they joined in late. It's all right. I ain't tripping on that. People watching live tell you y'all missed that, man. Y'all missed the prayer. Prayers at 7. Y'all get on for prayer. Hey, y'all would experience that too. Somebody would be in their living room right now, thanking the Lord, bending over, speaking in tongues. Something will be going on right now. But for us that's here, all right, yeah, for us that's here, we witnessed it. We was in it. Let's go on and get into these. He said it was just for the prayer. I said it was just for the prayer. Matter of fact, I'm saying this right now. After the last 2 weeks with prayer, with what's been going on, if you feel you strong enough, because sometimes we will be praying against demonic spirits and things of that nature. But if you feel you strong enough and you want to be a part of prayer, look, right when I said praying against demonic nature, look
Yeah,
at
yeah. I
the
see it. I
camera. You
see
see
it.
that,
I
right?
see it. Yeah,
It
yeah,
ain't
yeah.
moved the whole time. Praying against demonic nature, the whole camera just flipped off. Boy, I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. When you got some prayers and something like that happen, they don't want everybody to get what they supposed to get. Because if y'all know me, that right there, that does not happen. This mother just flipped up off the thing. Like I'm watching it just flip.
We can still hear you though.
Yeah. That's why I got the mic hooked up on something else. Say, yeah, you thought you was finna get us. And I got 3 more cameras in here just for that. If you thought you was gonna break it, it's all
Stay
good.
ready. Stay ready.
It's all good. See what I'm saying? Miss Boy, I need y'all to do stuff like that. Miss Zavala, I need y'all to do stuff like that. When stuff like this happen, we on the right path. When he get mad enough, he flipped the camera over. And it's stationary. It just flipped over. Yeah, we need that. Come on with it, y'all. Come on
Yeah,
with it.
defeating
Yeah, yeah,
something in the spirit realm right there. There you
yeah,
go.
yeah. Man, all right, we about to go on ahead. I'm about to start reading. If y'all with me, thank y'all for being here this Wednesday. If you tuning in, like I was saying before, if y'all strong enough to be here through prayer, we got prayer warriors. We start at 7. Prayer, my goodness, that prayer there, I'm still into it. That those two that prayed this evening, they set the tone, and they set the tone so well that the enemy just got mad and flipped my whole camera over right when I said we about to start praying against demonic presences. It just flipped my camera over. It's all good though. We need that. But if you're strong enough to be here, you need some good prayer. Tune in at 7 o'clock. Log on, or we going live at 7 o'clock. Go on ahead and get on. But we about to go ahead and start this bid. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the True Believer Bid session. Break it down, discussion. We're going over the first book of Adam and Eve. And I know on the reminder video, I was saying 65 through 70. We're actually at 70. So we're going to be 71 through 75. So that's where we're going to be. And just like in that video, I said, well, we left off, Adam had actually did the first day of work that he was supposed to do, and was happy that the Lord gave him wisdom on how to turn wheat into bread. And a whole bunch of stuff happened. And at the end of that, Satan was saying that he was going to go to war with Adam and Eve through marriage. And that's where we left off, through marriage. So if you're tuning in, we about to start at 71. And I'm going to go on ahead and get to read. Y'all all right out there? Because I'm still trying to calm myself down in my head and after what I just witnessed. But y'all all right? Y'all good?
Yeah, yeah, doing the same thing.
We're good. We're good.
All right. All right. All right. Verse 1. Verse 1. But when Adam heard these words from Satan, he sorrowed much because of his oath and of his promise, and said, shall I commit adultery with my flesh and my bones? And shall I sin against myself for God to destroy me and to blot me out from off the face of the earth? Since when at first I ate of the tree, he drove me out of the garden into this strange land and deprived me of my bright nature and brought death upon me. If then I should do this, he will cut off my life from the earth, and he will cast me into hell and will plague me there a long time. But God never spoke the words thou hast told me. And ye are not God's angels, nor ye sent from him, but ye are devils, come to me under the false appearance of angels. Away from me, ye cursed of God. Then those devils fled from before Adam, and he and Eve arose and returned to the cave of treasures and went into it. Then Adam said to Eve, if thou sawest what I did, tell it not, for I sinned against God and swearing by his great name. And I have placed my hand another time into that of Satan. Eve then held her peace as Adam told her. Then Adam arose and spread his hands unto God, beseeching and entreating him with tears to forgive him for what he had done. That Adam remained thus standing and praying 40 days and 40 nights. He neither ate nor drank until he dropped down upon the earth from hunger and thirst. Then God sent his word unto Adam, who raised him up from where he lay, and said unto him, O Adam, why hast thou sworn by my name? And why hast thou made agreement with Satan another time? But Adam wept and said, God, forgive me, for I did this unwittingly, believing they were God's angels. And God forgave Adam, saying to him, beware of Satan. And he withdrew his word from Adam. Then Adam's heart was comforted, and he took Eve, and they went out of the cave to make some food for their bodies. But from the day Adam struggled in his mind about his wedding Eve, afraid as he was to do it, lest God should be wroth with him. Then Adam and Eve went to the river of water and sat on the bank as people do when they enjoy themselves. But Satan was jealous of them and would destroy them. So that's 71, where we are. Any of y'all have anything to say about this chapter that you've taken out particularly?
Is this Adam getting cold feet?
Huh? You said cold feet. You got to remember him and Eve not married.
No, I know. I'm talking about that's a term that people use when they're troubled, like right before they get married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I know what you're saying. He getting cold feet. But you have to remember the last chapter, Satan, under the guise of the other angels that Adam does know, came in and got Adam to swear by God in heaven and the heavens and the earth, and long as God is rational and all this other type of stuff, right? So Adam got his hands in Satan's hands, and he's swearing all of this stuff, and he's saying it. So now, next chapter, he's starting to feel stuff for Eve that he's never felt before. Like now he's starting to get, like, I'm going to say, sexual urges looking at her that he's never felt Like this whole time, he's never looked at Eve in that way. Even when they were naked in the garden, now they're putting on, the figs, they sewing them together for clothes, but he still hasn't looked at Eve like that. So it's kind of like he's not getting cold feet, but remember, he just swore to Satan, and Satan got him thinking about this stuff. So that's what he's saying. Like, look, I'm not supposed to be getting married because God didn't say so. But now that's all I can think about. And that's why he's saying in the first, like the very first verse, but when Adam heard these words from Satan and sorrowed much because of his oath and of his promise, it says, shall I commit adultery with my flesh and my bones? And shall I sin against myself? For God to destroy me and to blot me out from off the face of the earth. See, now he looking at her like, if I marry her and God ain't say I can marry her, I'm sinning against God. But if I don't sin against God and I start having sex with her, I'm sinning against myself because she's of my flesh and of my blood. So I'm sinning against myself, which I'm still committing a sin to God. So either way, I'm doing something wrong. God didn't say I can get married. Now I want to have sex, and God ain't say I can have sex, but I'm going to do one of the two. Like, it's at that point. And I never thought about it until I swore to Satan. Like, I put my hands in his hands and swore to him. And now all of a sudden, this is what I'm thinking about. So that's why I was saying in the reminder video, for those that watched it or looked at it, it was going to be some things we're looking at as far as marriage and as men that we're getting into that was never meant for us to really get into. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got that from 12. That's the reason I asked that, where it says, but from that day Adam struggled in his mind about his wedding Eve,
right,
afraid as he was to do it. That's why I said that about, is he now doubting marrying her altogether because he knows what he did with Satan was wrong?
Oh,
that's why I was asking it.
Now that is a good question. I never thought about that. If that's why he's struggling, because looking at it, I know you're struggling because God ain't tell you to marry her, but now you want to have sex with her. So it's either I marry her or I have sex with her. And if I marry and you ain't said it, I'm sinning either way. So either way, I'm finna lose. But I never thought about it from that point of view. Now I'm struggling, like, should I even marry her? See, that's good perspective right there. Hopefully we get into some stuff and it start explaining some of this right here. But y'all kind of quiet. Any of y'all got anything else to say?
One thing that stuck out to me was the 40 days and 40 nights. And I guess, but just with the parallel with Jesus in the wilderness, uh, fasting 40 days and 40 nights where he was tempted by
Right.
the enemy. Just that part just jumped out to me.
Now, with the 40 days and the 40 nights, from what I'm getting from that, when he said he started thinking these thoughts and he realized he had swore to Satan and he done fell in the Satan trap for the second time, as far as just straight doing something like this where you done pledged something to Satan. He went on this fast. He didn't eat or drink anything. 40 days, 40 nights. He came almost to the point of death. Like I said, his body was everything was messed up. The Lord had to talk to him. He did all of that just for the Lord to say he forgives him for swearing to Satan.
Yeah.
Now, what some people think is, well, he's forgiven. It's like he never did it. No, that means you did it, but I'm accepting your apology. You see what I'm saying? I forgive you, but you still did swear to Satan.
Yeah, you see how short he was this time.
Yeah, it say he forgave him, then he withdrew his word. He didn't talk
Yeah.
to him, he didn't console him, nothing. I forgive you. I'm still not saying nothing to you. That's what some of us get some of these things messed. We ask to be forgiven. Just because we forgiven, a lot of us think we're not going to go through anything anymore. Or now, you know, we don't even know if God really forgave us. We just ask for forgiveness and we believe that we're forgiven. Some of us don't even believe, we just hope that we're forgiven. So if he does forgive you, you're still going to pay for what you did. A lot of us ask for forgiveness in hopes that we don't have to pay for what we did and then get disappointed when we do have to pay or that something does happen. He never said you weren't going to have to pay for what you did.
And it's not the enemy neither.
No, that's you did something, so you're getting paid back for it. But I'm like, with that, we don't even truly know if we're forgiven. Do we hear the voice of God actually say, hey, I forgave you or forgive him, like he's doing with Adam and Eve here? We don't hear that. So we just have belief and hope. We might be asking for forgiveness for something. God might not be forgiving us at all. We going around, I'm forgiven, and wondering why terrible stuff keeps happening. We don't know. But they actually got word. And you see what he had to go through just to be forgiven. Starve his body to the point of death. Just for God to, Adam, what did you do? I did this and I'm sorry. Can you please forgive me? Because I thought it was one of the regular angels, but it was him. And God just, you forgive him. I'm telling you, beware of Satan. And that's it. He had to do all of that just to be forgiven.
But the thing is, he went to God.
Right. But
He
you know,
did turn back to him
he went to
after
God.
he realized his wrongdoing.
Yeah, he went to God. But I saw something else in here too. He told Eve, don't tell nobody what he did.
I did see that too.
Don't tell nobody.
But who else? Who
Who
she
else I'm
gonna
gonna
tell
tell?
though?
It's just us
Just y'all.
and the Lord. Who else am I gonna tell that you swore to Satan again? It ain't like God don't know. He saw it.
I guess the
So
angels, maybe.
I don't know.
Don't tell nobody.
Don't tell nobody. Just keep that between us that I accidentally swore to Satan again. So that's why. Y'all, any other y'all see anything else in this chapter? Or y'all good?
That's the first look. What you just said made me think of now that she having to cover up for his wrongdoing and
But
having
see,
to live a lie.
she didn't have to cover up. He just asked her,
No,
don't
I'm
say
just
nothing.
saying. I'm
Yeah.
just saying. Like just thinking of today. Some
Mm. Oh, well, I guess the kids came out. But yeah, that's kind of wild right there. Don't say nothing. I,
like when that somebody does something and you gotta cover. You don't have to, but just say if somebody asking you something and you gotta try and keep up their lie. Now he get making her implicit on something he done, bringing
yeah.
her in.
Yep. You got to be quiet. Don't let nobody know. But look at this. Like, yep, it say he dropped to the earth from hunger and thirst. And when God talked to him, it said the word had to raise him up from where he was because he was that weak. He had to go through that just to be forgiven. You got some people, they ain't gonna go a day without eating 3 times or 4 times a day or drinking something. So if he had to do all this to get forgiven, no food, no water, 40 days, just to get God's attention to ask him for forgiveness, how many of us are actually forgiven? Hmm. But after all that, like I said, they went to go chill by the riverbank, and Satan was jealous, and he already plotting to destroy him again. That's with this one. So, and like we say in
I
12,
will say, if you asking for forgiveness, the Lord, when He does forgive you, he will let you know in the spirit that you are forgiven.
Yeah.
It may not be immediately, or it may be immediately. It just depends. I think it more so it depends on your sincerity when you ask and your obedience and willingness to want to do the right thing. But I've had it to where the Lord has confirmed his forgiveness for me and let me know, maybe not in the loud audible voice like he did with them, but
Mhm.
in my spirit he have.
So what you trying to tell me is that you special. You know what I'm saying? That what you
I'm a
trying to say?
child of God, so I am special. We are special if we're a child of God.
So now, so since you feel you special, you want to rub your specialness in our face. God let me know he forgave me in my spirit. I don't know
Chapter
about you.
72.
That's how you want to do it. I got you. I got you. I got you.
You
We
know
ready?
everybody ain't
We
gonna.
about to go to 72. Y'all good? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, y'all kind of quiet on here tonight, man. After that good prayer, we can't be quiet like that, boy. Yeah, we got to come on with it. But now we on 72. It says, then Satan and 10 from his host, so him and 10 other people, it's 11 of them all together, transformed themselves into maidens, unlike any others in the whole world, for grace. They came up out of the river in the presence of Adam and Eve, and they said among themselves, come, we look at the faces of Adam and Eve, who are of the men upon the earth, how beautiful they are, and how different is their look from our own faces. Then they came to Adam and Eve and greeted them and stood wondering at them. Adam and Eve looked at them also and wondered at their beauty and said, is there then under us another world with such beautiful creatures as these in it? And those maidens said to Adam and Eve, yes, indeed we are an abundant creation. Then Adam said to them, but how do you multiply? And they answered, we have husbands who wedded us, and we bear them children who grow up, and who in their turn wed and are wedded, and also bear children, and thus we increase. And if so be, Adam, thou wilt not believe us, we will show thee our husbands and our children. Then they shouted over the river as if to call their husbands and their children, who came up from the river, men and children, and everyone came to his wife and his children being with him. But when Adam and Eve saw them, they stood dumb and wondered at them. Then they said to Adam and Eve, you see our husbands and our children? Wed Eve as we wed our wives, and you shall have children the same as we. This was a device of Satan to deceive Adam. Satan also thought within himself, God at first commanded Adam concerning the fruit of the tree, saying to him, eat not of it, else of death thou shalt die. But Adam ate of it, and yet God did not kill him. He only decreed upon him death and plagues and trials until the day he shall come out of his body. Now then, if I deceive him to do this thing and to wed Eve without God's commandment, God will kill him then. Therefore did Satan work his apparition before Adam and Eve, because he sought to kill him and to make him disappear from off the face of the earth. Meanwhile, the fire of sin came upon Adam, and he thought of committing sin, but he restrained himself, fearing lest he followed this advice of Satan, God would put him to death. We're going to stop right there real quick. So you see what's happening? Maidens, these are just talking about like mermaids. So while they sitting there chilling by the water, mermaids done came up. And they sitting there, well, not real mermaids, they done transformed themselves into mermaids. came up, hey, we got kids, we got husbands, we got this here. So they pushing, excuse me, they are pushing the institution of marriage onto Adam and Eve. Like, yeah, they really showing it to them. This is how we multiply. This is what happened. This is what we do. This is what's going on. You need to do this with her. You'll be good too. So now it says he's looking at this. He already in the last chapter was like, I wasn't even thinking about none of this stuff. Now I'm thinking about it. So they put it in front of him, go on ahead and do it. And it says now he's struggling with marrying her, because if I marry her and God said, haven't said married her yet, if I marry her and God haven't given me permission to do so, I'm sinning against God and he might kill me for it. Now think about that. If I marry her and God haven't told me to do it, God may kill me. How many of us done got married and God ain't told us to do it? That's a question. We're going to get back to this, but that is a question. Do y'all understand how serious this is? We got people get married every day. But have God told you to marry? Miss Morgan, I see you unmute your mic. What's going on?
Nah, you said it. I was just gonna say the magnitude of how serious marriage is. Like but you took the words out of my mouth. People get married every day as if it's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the honor in which marriage used to have in society now is not. It's not a big deal. A lot of people don't even want to get married anymore. They don't even care about it. It's not a priority. It's not a focus. It's like if it happens, it happens. And then you have people that don't have a problem with committing and getting married, but they're not godly marriages. So that means that there's no consulting with God about, is this the woman or is this the man? It's just if somebody asks, oh, well, I'll say yes. And there's no other thought about it. Yeah, because we in love and we get along, you know. Nobody's thinking about it in a greater context. And he's literally thinking about the fact that God could kill him if he does the wrong thing here. That just lets you know how serious this is.
So I see Walt just put up there talking about people getting married for all the wrong reasons. That is exactly correct. But think about this. If Satan's job is to take as many people to hell with him as he can, how many people do you think know this right here? That if you marry somebody that God didn't tell you to marry, that's like a sin. He's saying God could kill me for that.
But this is why I was telling you, we kind of were getting here last week, but now we've arrived. This is why this is not included in the 66 books. Because if you think about it, when we look at Genesis, there's gaps. Like it'll talk about the fall, and it talks about, you know, when God formed Eve and she's a helpmeet, and that's it. Mm-hmm. So most of us that don't know these lost books, when we talk about Adam and Eve, we know they were married. Right. But we don't see all the other stuff. We don't see where, first and foremost, they were on earth for days, like hundreds of days, never looked at each other in a sexual way, never had a sexual thought, never looked at each other in a perverted way whatsoever. Like you said, they were naked. Like all they had was just leaves to cover themselves. They laid in the cave together, sleeping all them days. Like, let's be honest. Like, right. How many of us are going to lay in a cave and it's just us and one other person other than animals? And it's just me and one other person for 100 and something days. We in this cave. Naked. That's just not reality. Like, even if you don't really like the person after 180 days, like, he ain't that bad. He kind of cute. Look at him, you know. Yeah, you're going to start picking out good features. Rise up. Yeah. You know, so we're going to be able to knock something down. We might not even like it, but we're going to do something. Yeah, she all right. She got a good personality, you know. You know? You know, when she smiles, she kind of cute. Yeah. You know.
Other than and we in the dark cave, so I ain't got to just look at her. We are.
Like we the only people in this on this planet, so
Yeah, we are. But that's like nobody thought about doing nothing like that. See, and that brings up another point. Look at who he made swear. He made Adam swear, right?
yeah.
And if we look at men are led by what? Their eyes. Women ain't just led by their eyes. They see, but you got to, try to get into a woman's mind, or you got to knock her down real good. Just being honest, knock her down. You can override her mind. You see what I'm saying? But they aren't just led by their eyes like we are. Men, we gonna look. Oh my goodness, and that's where we go. Where our eyes lead us, that's where we go. That wasn't happening until Adam swore to Satan. Now he's saying, I'm dealing with all these thoughts I've never had, feeling stuff that I've never felt, and I'm thinking about doing something. Just think about how bad that is. Look at Adam. This is the first man. This is a man that has denied his body to the point of death, where they done died and all of this just to ask for forgiveness or just to get the attention of God. I'll sit here and die. Won't eat, won't drink any of that. That's strong mentally as far as his spirituality and his connection with God. But even he is falling suspect to what his eyes see now, because he swore it to Satan. We look at men, that's men's biggest problem. You'll be married and see something else bad. I don't love her. I just want her for a little bit and I'm gone. I love my wife. I'm back to my wife. I don't love her. I just want to knock her down and move around. I don't know if I should get married because I don't know if I can stop cheating. I don't know if this here, there's so many women out here. Our eyes is what get us in trouble. Our eyes is what make us think twice about getting married. Because if I marry her, I'm locked down. And then what if something better come along? We thinking that all the time, but it's with our eyes.
But this
We'll
is
look and won't even
why
think about the girl as a person. We don't really care about that. I don't care if she's nice, if she a hard person, if she a terrible person on the inside, if she here to make me fall, or if she here to lift me up. I don't care nothing about none of that. I just know she fine, and I just want to hit one time. That's it. That's why our eyes get us. And if you look, it came from here. We didn't think like that until we swore to Satan. When Adam swore to Satan, that's why he's thinking now. Now he got to come to God. Like, if I marry her, because I'm trying not to sin, but if I marry her and God ain't told me to marry her, I'm still sinning. If I don't marry her, I'm going to go knock her down and I'm sinning that way too. Either way, I'm finna lose. That's a man's dilemma now. But why? Because Adam swore to Satan. Then these thoughts came. We didn't have them before. So some of y'all men might not have known why we think like that. Why our eyes lead us. This is where it comes from. I told y'all there's going to be some good stuff in this one. That's one of them. This is where this stuff comes from. But I don't know if anybody else put a comment on there. No, they didn't. My bad. They didn't. But yeah, with that, any one of y'all got anything else to say about that? Because I was going at it for a little bit. My bad. I ain't mean to get off track.
I do. I have a question.
Go on ahead.
Why does Adam keep messing around with Satan? That's what I want to know. He keeps getting in trouble. It doesn't seem that he's learning his lesson.
See,
that's all I want to know. Like, come on, man. Like
he learned. He's learned a lot from when he came out. And I think the last time you might have been with us, he's learned a lot from then, but Satan done switched up on him a few times. Like, they the only people here. The last time, go ahead.
It's like, come on, man. Like, come on. And I guess that's the same way that God feels about us. Like, come on, like, get it together,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
But
yeah,
I'm like, dude, like, now, like, you're bad, man. Like, you almost, like you said, like he almost died trying to get God's attention, and here you are, and now you're looking at your companion in all kinds of nasty ways. You can't control that. I mean, yes, you can control that, but it takes a lot of work. I mean, and so
yeah,
now he's all suffering and everything, and he's faced with if I do and if I don't. I mean, either way, it's almost like choosing the lesser of two evils, right? Either way, you're
right.
gonna die, man. So just go ahead and tell God you want to marry the woman and see what
Yeah,
he says. He's gonna strike you down and kill you and just get it over with.
yeah. But you talking about just marry the woman. But like you said, if I marry her and God don't tell me I can marry her, I'm still sinning. And
But
God
that he,
killed me for that.
but that if he asks and consult God like
Right.
he did with other things, he'll know if it's sin against God.
Right. Now, watch this here. Let's say he asks God to marry Eve, and God say no. She's just here to help you. You can't marry her. That's when he said,
Well,
then I'm still gonna go try to knock her down, and I'm sinning against my flesh. I'm still sinning. So that's why he like Walt put he screwed. I'm like, cause he is. He's screwed. I can't marry her. This is what Adam is saying. I'm gonna do one of these two things. Look at this. He didn't say with all this other stuff he can control himself with, but with
But you
this
see
he can't.
fire. You see it says fire of sin. So
Right.
you already know it's burning within
It's
him.
burning in him.
You
I
don't
can't
see,
control this one. The other stuff I
yeah,
can. I can't control this. Look at
and
how many
see.
men suffer from this same thing today. They can't control it. They don't even know why they do it. This is why. Adam couldn't even control it. That's why I'm like, this one was bad. Men across the board feel this. Hold on, Walt. You had said something. You typing in this stuff. What, you must can't talk. You must be busy and can't talk. But he put on here, just like any other man, Adam is learning on the fly through mistakes and all. I know I made a lot of mistakes. Yeah, I have too. I have too. But only thing we see that Adam does, well, should do that he starts and then he stops. He'll say, okay, we're going to start asking God to direct it from there. And he'll look at Eve. All right, what we finna do is this. From the time we wake up, we're going to pray. After that, we're going to start asking God, show us where to go, show us what to do. Then they'll be good for like a day or two. Then after that, they stop. And right when he stopped, he go out and the enemy come in a different form, some kind of way. Then he mess up. Just like this time, God had already sent the three angels. Earlier was Michael, Gabriel, and somebody else. I forgot. But he sent them. One went to the garden to get the myrrh and the incense. One went to the Indian Ocean and got the gold. One went somewhere else and got some oil. And he had them bring them. So Satan had already plotted. Well, this time, how we gonna get him? He already spent time with those angels, so he knows them. They the ones came, bought him the gift. They bought him off the mountain where I was about to kill him up there. All of that. He knows them. So what we finna do is transform ourselves into those three to where we look like them. But now they show up to Adam looking like the three angels he done already chilled with. They bought him gifts. But instead of them bringing him gifts, now they talking to him and they trying to get him to swear. And he's sitting here saying, I don't know how to swear. Well, yeah, put your hands in mine and let me talk you through it. I'll tell you exactly what to say. Those angels didn't do that last time. They came, bought your gifts, helped you back in there, told you God is your strength, and then they left. They're not coming down, chilling and talking and having all kind of conversations and put your hand in my hands and I'm going to teach you how to swear. Because God said, don't swear by heaven, by earth, by his name at all, not even on yourself. Don't swear. But the enemy coming down talking to you, teaching you how to swear. So it's after he said and repeated what the enemy told him to say. Now all of this stuff starting to happen and he get to thinking, wait a minute, God never told me nothing like that. Y'all not angels of God. Y'all are the cursed ones. And then well, we out of here, but we already got them. What you gonna do now? It's too late. You done already made your pledge. He should have realized it once put your hand in my hand. I'm gonna show you how to swear. If God told you don't swear, this angel ain't gonna tell you something contrary to God. So he should have realized then, but he realized too late. Now we got some kind of curse on us because we swore to God and we led by our eyes. That's what we're led by, our eyes. Adam's, he's led by his as well. But let me see. Any one of y'all got something else? Because if not, we can go. Well, I can keep reading because I was
Well,
still
for looking at this and how he's feeling, and it's saying fire of sin. And I know in scripture in the New Testament it's talking about the burning passions and stuff, but looking at it, getting married because you want to have sex is looking at this. That's not a reason for marriage.
Yeah, you still sinning.
Because it says fire of sin, not, well, I'll just say the enemy was telling him to do that, not God telling him to do that. So anything the enemy told him to do automatically is going to be sin.
Right. Look at who told him to marry Eve.
Yeah.
Satan did. Yeah, he's talking about exactly. Getting married for the wrong reasons. Yeah, because you want to have sex. Are you sitting there? Well,
but that's many marriages today. And then you know from the older people, where if you can't stop doing that, then just get married. But originally, looking at it now, that ain't how God intended it to be.
No, he didn't. You get married now just so you can have sex and it ain't sin. Well, did God tell you to marry that person? Nope. Well, that means it is sin. That's kind of crazy. Now I said, revealing that, looking at that, how many marriages do we have now? Active marriages that they got married pretty much just because they want to have sex. If they be just straight up honest and don't give us a whole bunch of BS, just straight up and honest, you know, you really ain't even like that person like that. You just want to have sex with them. And they want to have sex with you and y'all got married so y'all could go ahead and do it saying, hey, we ain't sinning because we married.
Especially couples in the church.
Man, look, that's where it come in. That's where it'll be the worst. In church. Hey, we married now. We ain't sinning now. Hey,
that's even in the pulpit because
hey, look,
with
about
pastors,
to upset some people.
But that's truth. That's truth. We've seen it. We know of others.
Man, yeah.
But still, God didn't say marry. Your flesh said marry.
Oh, man. As I say, think about how many marriages is like that. How many marriages is like that? And they're sinning without even knowing they're sinning.
That's the thing.
You don't even know you're sinning, but you're sinning. Man, I'm about to keep reading because I stopped at 13. Meanwhile, the fire of sin came upon Adam, and he thought of committing sin, but he restrained himself, fearing lest if he followed this advice of Satan, God would put him to death. Then Adam and Eve arose and prayed to God while Satan and his host went down into the river in the presence of Adam and Eve to let them see that they were going back to their own regions. Then Adam and Eve went back to the cave of treasures as they were wont about evening time. And they both arose and prayed to God that night, and Adam remained standing in prayer, yet not knowing how to pray by reason of the thoughts of his heart regarding his wedding Eve, and he continued so until the morning. Look at that. Adam ain't never had no problem praying. Now all of a sudden they're saying he don't know how to pray. This is messing up his prayer life, thinking about getting with her.
Boy.
Messing up his prayer life, thinking about getting with her. Boys think this is a joke. I'm telling you, some of y'all out there, your prayer life messed up because you think about getting with somebody you ain't supposed to be with. Man, or you ain't asked the Lord. So, and it says, and when light arose, Adam said unto Eve, arise, let us go below the mountain where they brought us gold, and let us ask the Lord concerning this matter. Look, now let me, I can't hold it no more. Let me go ask the Lord what's going on with this. Then Eve said, what is the matter, Adam? And he answered to her, that I may request the Lord to inform me about wedding thee. For I will not do it without his order, lest he make us perish, thee and me. For those devils have set my heart on fire with thoughts of what they showed us in their sinful apparitions. Those devils set his heart on fire. Look at that. When your heart, look how they be talking about people got a heart, my heart on fire for the Lord. Heart on fire for sin.
Yeah,
Bad.
that's the parallels. The
fire.
fire,
That's bad. His
God,
heart is on,
the fire of sin or the fire of the enemy.
It says, then Eve said to Adam, why need we go below the mountain? Let us rather stand up and pray in our cave to God to let us know whether this counsel is good or not. Look at that. We ain't got to keep going out to cave to pray. We can stay in here and pray. Then Adam rose up in prayer and said, God, thou knowest that we transgressed against thee, and from the moment we transgressed, we were bereft of our bright nature, and our body became brutish, requiring food and drink, and with animal desires. Command us, God, not to give way to them without thy order, lest thou bring us to nothing. For if thou give us not the order, we shall be overpowered. Look at that. If you don't tell us we can get married, I'm going to be overpowered and follow the advice of Satan. Listen to that. That's how strong this is. So now, ladies, y'all know what men are dealing with. If you can't tell us don't do, I'm going to be overpowered with this. But if you look at it, Adam snuck it in. He didn't say, remember, he the one got all these desires. Eve still ain't even looking at him like that. But who he just sneak in there? Eve. He just said, we shall be overpowered. Really is him, but he bringing her in because, hey, I'm going to knock her down too. And that's a we. So we're going to be overpowered with this and follow that advice of Satan. And thou wilt again make us perish. If not, then we take our souls from us. Let us be rid of this animal lust. And if thou give us no order respecting this thing, then sever Eve from me and from her, and me from her, and place us each far away from each other. Yet again, God, then thou hast put us asunder from each other. The devils will deceive us with their apparitions and destroy our hearts and defile our thoughts towards each other. Yet if it is not each of us towards the other, it will at all events be through their appearance when they show themselves to us. Here Adam ended his prayer. So if you don't understand what's going on, Lord, can I marry her? If you say no, I'm going to be overpowered and I'm going to sin because I'm going to do something with it anyway. In order for me not to sin, if you say no, take our souls. That way our souls don't have this animal lust. We didn't have it when we were spirit. So this animal stuff that we're going off of, take our souls from us. But then if you don't take our souls, because you ain't supposed to take them yet. So if you don't take our souls, excuse me, then move her far from me and move me far from her. Then you get to thinking about it. But if you move us far from each other, then Satan and the host, they can come fool me real easy. And they're going to have my thoughts defiled even more. Or they're going to have me doing even more stuff. And then the same thing with her. They'll come fool her and do her like that. So the situation I'm in, God, is pretty bad. It just says here he ended his prayer. It's pretty bad. Either you're going to say I can marry you. If you don't, I'm going to be overpowered. And then you're going to do this here. You ain't going to take our souls, but then split us apart. But then if you split us apart, then this is going to happen. So this whole situation, I'm stuck. I'm really stuck. Like, what am I going to do if you say no? Now, what y'all got to say? What am I going to do if y'all say no about comment?
I was gonna just thinking about what we was talking about earlier. Now, when people are canceled, if they should get married, the major question should be asked: did God tell you to marry them? Not if y'all agree and got the same finances. Can y'all agree on if y'all get in an argument or whatever? But the primary question should be, did the Lord tell y'all to get married?
Right. But then you pose this situation. What if you got people that don't know the voice of God? They've never heard it or don't know. They don't really go to church. They don't know
They
the
got
voice.
bigger problems than
You got,
marriage if they don't know the voice
yeah,
of
Exactly.
you
God.
shouldn't even be getting married, because
Exactly.
being married is obviously, you can see that this is something of God. You're trying to do something that is under the constitute and covenant with God. How can you make a covenant with God and you don't know God? You're not gonna hold to your commitment, your covenant. I don't know you. Who are you? Just saying, like in the world today, you got people that are atheists that are married. This is a covenant thing with God. Like how
But
are you able to do that?
I feel that that question is, and maybe I'm wrong, but I feel that that question is geared more to people within the body, right? Because how is an atheist supposed to know that this is something sacred, that marriage is sacred, right? Someone who's not who doesn't care for the word of God, someone who doesn't take the time, they're not going to know that, which is why marriage has lost its value in the world. But I strongly believe that that question is geared to someone like us, that we know that marriage is sacred, that we know the value of marriage, that we read and we pray and we say that we have a relationship covenant with God. And if you ask me, Jennifer, is this the person that you're going to marry? And I tell you no, then I'm in trouble. We have a big problem.
Yeah, that's before anything. But I agree. Other like, to begin with, this is God's people. So this is automatically for us who are God's people. They just took over, in my opinion, took over something of God and did whatever they wanted with it. But initially, this is for the children of God. This is me saying this.
Right.
Looking at Adam and Eve, this is God's people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. Right.
So, yeah. So all three of y'all want to talk, make all kind of sense. You know, the audacity of all three of you, Miss Morgan, Mrs. Mitchell, Ms. Zavala. Know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to stop y'all from commenting if y'all gonna keep saying stuff that makes sense. People don't want to hear that. People want to hear stuff that don't make any sense, that let them keep doing what they're doing. Y'all making too much sense. You're gonna turn people off. They're not gonna want to listen to us no more, and they're gonna say we don't know the Lord. You know what I mean? Yeah, y'all can't be doing this type of stuff. We live. Do that when we not live. Then you can make sense so other folks don't.
Well, I'll say something too, so I don't forget, because I was gonna hold it to the end, but it may go in a different direction. Like it's important for it's the reason why God ain't told them to get married yet. Like
Right, right,
Adam, they just learned how to feed themselves. Like last week we saw that was the first time he actually worked. Like they have to get used to individually depending on God, working for providing for yourself, sustaining yourself, being obedient to God first, submitting to God first wholly, and working, taking care of yourself first
right.
before you even try to combine in marriage. Adam just started working.
Yeah, he's only been to work
They
2
just
days.
started making food, just started. So why so quickly? Like the point of the enemy trying to do that ahead of time is to get them out of alignment, to mess up the order of God. Like, of course, marriage is the institute of the Lord. He know that already. So he trying to have them put, as we say, the cart before the horse. Go ahead and get married now. Like, no, it's not time yet. God ain't said this yet.
Huh.
But he's trying to throw them off track. Like, no, it's not time yet, just because now he done put all this burning fire within. They've been good before that, other than them being hungry.
Yeah. But
They
if you
just
think about it,
been companions.
bro, I'm gonna say think about what marriage is. Adam is the head. I'm supposed to, Adam is supposed to take care of his wife. Just like I'm in I'm gonna say I'm in charge of my family and their well-being. You know what I'm saying? Say I'm in charge of my wife, but I'm in charge of my family's well-being.
Yeah.
My wife is my helpmeet. That's just me. Same thing goes with him. So, how am I supposed to take care of a family? Do the things I need to do for them, make sure they taken care of. If I don't even know how to take care of myself,
He ain't
I'm
even good
just now
working in
learning
that
how to work.
vision. Yeah.
Whatever. I'm just now learning how to work. I don't only been to work 2 days out of my whole life. And the second day, Satan led me out in the wilderness 8 days away from where I was, left me out here, and I died from hunger and starvation. The Lord had to bring me back. So I've only finished 2 complete days of work out of my whole life. How am I supposed to be able to be equipped to take care of a family, a wife, children, and all that when I can't even really take care of myself?
Let's say right now that's a distraction.
Yep.
That's what he's distracting him with, that instead of fulfilling the vision God gave him to work. Since of course we already know since they fell or whatever, but God gave them work. That's what he's supposed to do in the earth. Work. Now you done
Oh,
took
yeah.
him off of his job now to work.
Oh,
You
yeah.
done
You're right
distracted
about
him.
that. See there? All this came before it was time. And now that boy say he can't control it. If you tell me I can't, I'm gonna be overpowered. Like I can't control this. Goodness. That's why you women, it's an uphill battle with men. And some we can't control. Well, some of us can. Some of us can't.
Not of
Some
your own.
right. You need the
I'll
It's
say
Lord.
not
that.
meant
You
to
need
be
the
done by
Lord to be able to
yourself.
That's
control
why
that.
their
Exactly.
self-control is a fruit of the spirit.
Right.
Exactly.
So you need the Lord. If somebody ain't got the Lord, they ain't gonna be able to control it. Y'all good? Because if not, we're gonna go on to 78. We're gonna go on to 78. Y'all straight? I guess y'all are.
Yes.
All right. So in 78, it says, then God looked upon the words of Adam that they were true. Look, yeah, he telling the truth. He really can't control that. And that he could long await his order, respecting the counsel of Satan. And God approved Adam in what he had thought concerning this, and in the prayer he had offered in his presence. And the word of God came unto Adam and said to him, Adam, if only thou hast had this caution at first, ere thou earnest out of the garden into this land. If you was this cautious at first, none of this stuff would ever happen. After that, God sent his angel who had brought gold, and the angel who had brought incense, and the angel who had brought myrrh to Adam, that they should inform him respecting his wedding to Eve. So look at that. Remember, these are the ones that bought all that stuff, like it just said the first time. Satan transformed himself and two of his other partners into these three. Came, fooled Adam, got him to swear to him. Adam realized it after he swore. Y'all aren't those angels. Y'all are the cursed ones. They left. Now God sent him the real three again. In my mind, I would have been like, is this really y'all? I'd have been asking all kind of questions. All kind of questions. Because I got to be sure. But it says they came to him, and it says, then those angels said to Adam, take the gold and give it to Eve as a wedding gift and betroth her. Then give her some incense and myrrh as a present, and be ye thou and she one flesh.
Jennifer, mute your mic.
This is the first time they done said some stuff like this. Usually they don't really just talk too much. But now they talking. They gave him some stuff. Be ye one flesh. And Adam hearkened to the angels and took the gold and put it into Eve's bosom in her garment and betrothed her with his hand. Betrothed her, in his hand. So I'm going to stop right here because this is where I see something to me that's important. How it says that the angels told him, hey, give her some of that gold, give her a little bit of the some incense and myrrh as a present. What did myrrh represent? Y'all remember that?
I had to look it up.
I remember. Myrrh represents sorrow.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorrow. So think about this. Remember the gold, which is amazing. I used to say this before I even know it. I said gold is a representation of the kingdom. Y'all remember I used to say that? And all us need to get some real gold. You got to have real gold. That's a representation of the kingdom. When God gave Adam those gold rods, Adam said this has to be representation of the kingdom. God confirmed it. Gold is representation of my kingdom. That was the spirit that let me know that before I even read it. But right here, the angels tell Adam, take some of the gold, give it to her as a gift. So right now, what that tells me is that as the head of this marriage, as the head, Adam is presenting the kingdom of God. He is actually bringing the kingdom of God unto Eve. Remember, it said, if you look at the hierarchy that's in the Bible, the head of every man, it says the head of Christ is God, right? And then it says, but the head of every man is Christ. The head of every woman is man. And when it says a man is over his family, man is acting like the representation of Christ for his family. So what it's saying is when you're supposed to give her a little bit of gold. That's you representing Christ. You are literally bringing the representation of the kingdom of God onto your wife. That's what you're supposed to represent and give her a token of. How many of us knew that? How many of us know that? We got dudes acting anything but like the Christ of God. I mean, like Christ or like God. And they coming into these marriages doing all kind of stuff. You denying the faith. How you gonna be like Christ, but you in here raising hell? What hell did Christ raise? Like us being men, we got a whole lot on our shoulders. And the thing is, we running from that responsibility. Many of us aren't embracing it. Many of us aren't standing up to it. Like we're running from it. We don't want those responsibilities. We don't want to be the Christ in our families. But that's what God has called us to be. We're a representation of Christ to her. But if you really don't listen to Christ or don't know Christ, how can you be? We really don't even know why we give wedding gifts. We just do it because that's what we've been told you do at a wedding. You have a big old wedding, bring wedding gifts, everybody bring them and all that. But what are we bringing them for? We looking at it like we helping them out. We're doing this. God had that for a reason. Each thing represented something. He's coming in as the representative of Christ, but also you think about the myrrh. Myrrh represents sorrow. So what he's saying is in your marriage, you're going to have sorrow. I don't know. We got to look. Oh, incense was for the spirit. Remember? Gold was for the kingdom. Incense represented your spirit and the spirit of God. Myrrh represented sorrow. So what he's saying is in your marriage, you gifting her. You bringing her in the representation of the kingdom of God. Number two, your spirit, her spirit, and God's spirit. Those are incense. They all supposed to align. That's right there. And then it's going to be sorrow in this marriage. He's not saying you're going to have a marriage of sorrow, but it's going to be sorrow there. What do people do today when they get sorrowful? Huh?
But you got the Spirit of God there.
Right. You do. But what do people do today when the marriage gets sorrowful?
They leave.
Exactly. But look at the first marriage. These were the gifts. We doing all kind of stuff that really don't mean nothing. This here means something. And what he's saying is you're going to have sorrow in your marriage. You got people don't know how to get past the sorrow, don't know how to deal with it. They ready to divorce and get out for irreconcilable differences or all other type of stuff. Whatever it is, just get inconvenient, some type of sorrow come, you're ready to get out. But he was saying in your marriages, it's going to be some sorrow. From the first marriage on, we don't know how to deal with it. That's big. In the church, we shouldn't be getting divorced for little stuff. We're supposed to be representations of the Christ-like union with us to worldly people. So we sitting here, right, when something go wrong, we getting up out of it. What are we telling the people out in the world? Y'all can get out of it too. Right, when something go wrong with God, you can get out of it. But does God do that with you? I said, this is good when it comes to these marriages. We see a whole lot of stuff going over these. I told y'all in the reminder video, it was going to be kind of good this evening. But anyone of y'all got anything to say about any of that? Let me check the little.
I'm just looking at just the sorrow part. You already know if just looking at Christ, because Christ is the bridegroom, right?
Yep, Christ is the bridegroom.
So if he went through sorrow, sacrifice, That's what we're going to do.
Right.
So you should expect to have some difficulties.
But people don't want that though. Nope. Y'all good? Because I'm about to go on ahead and move forward to 6, verse 6. Look like we good. Oh, it's just quiet. All right. Then it says, then the angels commanded Adam and Eve to arise and pray for 40 days and 40 nights. And after that, Adam should come into his wife, for then this should be an act pure and undefiled, and he should have children who would multiply and replenish the face of the earth, the face of the earth. Look at that. So even after they got married, they had to wait 40 days and 40 nights. Pray for that long. Then he can knock his wife down.
That started on the right foot.
Look at that. After we're going to get married, he'd have had gifts, and that's a little, he put no deal. Look at that. That's how we think. Look at how the first marriage went. And it's another thing about the gifts. Men, look at that again. It didn't say she's supposed to bring you anything. The angels told him to give it to her.
And not to the father, but to
They
her.
told Adam,
He
give
put
her
it in her
those gifts.
bosom. He put the gold in her bosom, in her garments.
Oh, yeah. So she ain't supposed to be buying you no wedding gifts. You supposed to be getting them for her. Because you got to think.
Pastor T.
No, go ahead.
Pastor T, whenever I get married, can you teach my future husband that passage right there, please?
Yeah, I can run that by him and let him know. I can run that by him. He might not like me. He might not want to marry you no more, but I can run it by him. You know what I mean? and try to smooth it over. Hey, you want to be a godly man? This is how you started out, son. Don't run. Don't run.
She only takes 14 karat gold. Thank you.
Yeah. Only the real stuff. You know what I'm saying? God don't have a fake kingdom, so we can't give no fake gold. You know what I mean?
No gold plated, please.
Yeah. No plated. No plated. Pure. Yeah. See what I'm saying? We could do that. She didn't give him a gift. He had to give it to her. Look at that. Who blesses us? God. He gives us his gifts. We can't really give God gifts. We don't often, we can't give him nothing. It's all his anyway. He gives us stuff. So if we're representing him, we give gifts to our wife. That's what was supposed to happen. Bet. So that's something else that I saw right there. But now,
there's 40 days and 40 nights thing, though.
Oh, yeah, that's going to mess up a whole lot of women and dudes. Because right when you get married, you're going out on the honeymoon. We good. We good. Hey.
Yeah, so that means you should prolong it until after that. But really, that's putting the spirit in check first. Y'all
no deal again. Yeah.
But that's putting the spirit in the forefront, though.
Exactly.
This is what's help to drive our marriage, not our flesh, because of course he had the fire of sin. No, we're gonna put the spirit in the forefront. This is gonna help us with control or whatever, in whatever aspect. Look, even still, he still couldn't fulfill that fire of sin that was in him. Get the spirit right.
Yep. Now look at this though, because I ain't gonna do that. I already know Walt playing, but you got to I ain't doing that. We married, we doing this. Look at what it says.
He ain't playing.
After the 40 days, 40 nights, and after that Adam should come into his wife, for then this would be an act of pure and undefiled. Only then. After you get married and you do your 40 days and 40 nights of prayer, then God will consider this pure and undefiled. Anything else is not pure and is not undefiled.
So is that to say, was that just for them?
No, I ain't saying it's just for them. You know the deal. I say, you know the
So I
deal.
said,
And why
so
you
what
laughing
we
for? You know
so
the deal.
everybody married wrong, started
We done
off their
all
marriage
messed
on the
up.
wrong foot.
Yeah, we done married wrong. Look, we having big giant wedding parties and all type of stuff, and people
Yeah.
bringing everything, gifts that don't even mean nothing to the Lord. That man, look, the angels came. God told the angels to come down, show them what to do on how to get married. The angels came, and these ain't no little angels. This is Michael, Gabriel, and some other. Come down, show him what's up. He talking about the angels. She told the angels gonna have to come to me too. Look, see there? I said this mess up everybody. Come down, show them what to do. Look, you give her that gold, you give her the incense, you give her some myrrh. All that represents this. Get out to her for a gift. Once y'all done, you're going to pray for 40 days and 40 nights, and then it'll be pure and undefiled before the Lord.
We need to get remarried, baby.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? This messes it up for everybody. Everybody. Think about how you got married. You ain't wait. That night you
No,
was
you was
happy. But what he
happy.
said, look,
Yeah.
if the angels came down and they telling you this is what you do, and this is when it's pure and undefiled to God, who do we know get married like this? I don't know not one person get married. Like I didn't get married like this. So that means a lot of weddings to God aren't considered pure and aren't undefiled. But who knows that this should be the marriage custom?
Now we do.
Yeah, other than us and the people that's watching this, who knows this? It's getting real out there. It's getting real. That's what I'm saying. If the enemy tried to use this to get us to sin, introduce it before time, put the fire in Adam after he swore to him, to where he couldn't even control it. I'm going to get married and I'm going to sin because you ain't told me I can get married to her, or I'm going to be overpowered and I'm going to knock her down and I'm going to sin either way. Now, God's saying, okay, you can get married, but for it to still be pure to where it ain't counting as sin, this is what you got to do. You got people on all kind of fronts thinking they're right. I ain't
Because
want
we
to
done
have
had
sex.
sex beforehand.
Exactly. That's what I was just going to say
Already
that.
done it.
Just going to say that. I got married. I just didn't have sex. I got married, so I'm good. You wrong. If you're on Family Feud, you got that 1X right there. Bam, be out of there. Then if you sit there and get married and you didn't do these gifts right and you didn't pray for 40 days, 40 nights, you got another one. You got 2 X's right there. Then if you don't marry her because you ain't gonna do it right and you knock her down, that's another X. You 3 strikes you out when it comes to this stuff. The enemy is getting us on all different fronts when it comes to this marriage stuff, and we don't even know it.
I have a question.
Go on ahead.
Like, where would, just saying, if somebody would start that now, like, what would be a rod of gold now? Like, he had that then.
He had, but see, God had gave him that rod of gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ain't finna just get no rods of gold that glow 24 hours like they got. Like he said, I think Michael had to go to the bottom of the Indian Ocean to get that gold. So yeah, that
Yeah.
ain't nothing we gonna have. You better go
Yeah.
get you a golden ring or a gold necklace, you know, something gold like that. Then you good to go. But you're gonna have to give us some representation of the kingdom.
Well, all 3 seem like.
Yeah. So I mean, we got to go get
Because
some
she also
incense.
going to have sorrow when she birthing children. So that
Yeah.
myrrh, it wasn't just for him, but for them.
Yeah. See, now I got to go get some. Well, I got you the ring. We good. Now I got to go get some myrrh and incense. Keeping them in here. But
We starting over. But
yeah, we got to get all that. So now Yeah, we at 7. Then both Adam and Eve received the words of the angels, and the angels departed from them. Then Adam and Eve began to fast and to pray until the end of the 40 days. And then they came together. Look at that. As the angels had told them. And from the time Adam left the garden until he wedded Eve were 223 days. That is 7 months and 13 days. Thus was Satan war with Adam defeated. Look at that.
Hallelujah.
Look at that. Because he actually got married and the Lord went on ahead and allowed him to do it before he sinned. He beat Satan.
And he didn't do it when Satan told him to do it.
So
That's
now
what
we
was the
count this
thing.
as a victory. Adam ain't had too many victories, but we count this one as a victory. You did it for us, bro, even though you messed us up. In the end, you came through clutch, and you won it for us. But look at this. It says 7 months and 13 days, right? It said that for a reason. Why, when I read that, why would I read that? What
FaceTime.
popped in my mind was like, look, all that we've been talking for 5-6 years and we still ain't did nothing, or 5-6 years we still don't know. No, 7 months, 13 days, you know. Like, you know. That's what I got out of that. But go ahead. I see y'all. Some people unmuting mics, some people remuting them. What's happening? Miss Morgan?
No, I got the same thing. That was my same observation of it wasn't, people are engaged for 2 years and all of that. It didn't take long. But at the end, where it says that, Satan basically was defeated. And that just goes to show that when we do things God's way, and we submit ourselves to him first and foremost, even though he meant something for your harm that could, and you stated that this is basically a curse for men, that they are led by what they see. This just shows you can defeat Satan and overcome that. It just showed us right here.
Yep, you're right. It got to be with God. Without it, like he said, without it, you're going to be overpowered and you're going to sin. So just think, it's like God can guide it. You know what I mean? Adam came to him and was like, look, if you say I can't marry her, I'm going to be overpowered because I'm going to do something with her anyway. So if you say yes, give me the way how to do this right. Because if you say no, I'm about to mess up and do all this wrong. If you move her away or move me away, Satan is going to fool us both and have us thinking even more worse stuff. But I'm going to be overpowered. And it says that God looked at his words and was like, what he's saying is true. Like, he will be overpowered. But now that he asking me for help, let me guide it so he still can win. It's when we're going into it and we're not asking God for help, we keep losing. We messing with somebody we're not supposed to mess with. We're getting overpowered by what Satan has put into us. If we go to God, he can help us win, even with what Satan put into us. He still can help us win. It never said Adam's desire stopped. Never said he took away those thoughts or those desires anymore. He just guided him, gave him an avenue. Yes, marry her. I will sanction this marriage. Marry her, pray 40 days and 40 nights, give her this here as a gift. Then you can do it. So now I got to hold on another 40 days. Some people can't hold on 30 minutes, but he had to hold on 40 days. He got it done. God looked at him. You're good to go. He won.
But it's saying he had a practice of fasting already. So that
Yeah,
fasting and
that's
praying,
eating
that's
and
the good
drinking.
part. Huh?
That's eating and drinking. That ain't doing something else though. He hadn't practiced that yet.
No, I mean before they had intercourse, he could do the 40 days of fasting and praying.
Yeah.
He can
Oh
do
yeah.
that because they already had a history of fasting and praying.
Mm-hmm. So they probably send that. It's the easy part.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, this the easy. But the hard part is waiting this long. But the fasting and praying ain't hard at all. So we good?
but
Because we good. Oh, go ahead.
where is it? Let me go back. Where is it? Oh, looking at when they had sexual intercourse, it didn't say they were wedded until after they had intercourse.
Yeah. It said he betrothed her. That's engaged.
Yeah, that's when he brought during that time he brought the gifts
Yeah.
as
He
a
was
promise
engaged.
that he would marry. But in looking from my eyes view, the marriage part is the consummation of intercourse.
Right. There you
From
go. Now you married.
looking at so just thinking about that, the intercourse part is a marrying. Just thinking about doing the intercourse before that part, where people don't think they're married in the spirit world.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I need to look something up because I think I looked up betrothed to make sure I knew what it was.
That's
And
like
it
a
was
year
saying
long.
that's the symbol for
That's the
when someone
preparation
gets
before.
engaged. And I think it was you have to interlock your fingers with them. Like when y'all hold hands and interlock fingers, that's like the symbol of y'all getting engaged or y'all marry y'all together. Symbol cause me to be said place for to be fixed. Fixed point symbol said betrothed. Yep, meet
But
on the similar point.
why you
Yep.
looking for that? But that's the part. This part is that's why it's not good to have intercourse before because you're marrying yourself to someone else.
Yep. Betrothal. Let me see. Yep. Formal engagement to be married. And I think it's mutual promise contract, future marriage, the act of betrothing, or fact of being betrothed. You got that. Yeah, and I think back in the day, that was the act of doing it. When y'all held hands and locked fingers, you said you telling y'all you marrying this person. Then once y'all actually did something, hey, y'all was considered married. That was that. But now I'm gonna go on to 74. This is when it gets real in here. Some other stuff. It says, and they dwelt on the earth working in order to continue in the well-being of their bodies, and were so until 9 months of Eve's childbearing were ended, and the time drew near when she must be delivered. Look at that. They got together in 9 months. She already about to deliver. It didn't take long at all. Then she said unto Adam, this cave is a pure spot by reason of the signs wrought in it since we left the garden, and we shall again pray in it. It is not meet then, it is not meet then that I should bring forth in it. Let us rather repair to that of the sheltering rock which Satan hurled at us when he wished to kill us with it. But with that was held up and spread as an awning over us by the command of God, and formed a cave. So if y'all hadn't wasn't here that Wednesday, or you don't remember, probably about 15 chapters ago or 10 chapters ago, something like that. They went out of the garden, went out of the cave and kind of went by the Garden of Eden to try to get God to talk to them. They hadn't eaten and gotten real weak. They were trying to make some last ditch efforts to get back into the garden. And while they were there, they fell asleep outside. And when they fell asleep outside, Satan and a bunch of his hosts they cut off like the top half of a mountain or the top part of a mountain and tried to throw it down on them. And Satan had plotted it all out. Throw the flat part down on them so they can't get out of there. It'll smash them. If you throw a part with a hole or you throw a part that's curved, God will make the hole or the curve land on them and they won't die. So throw the flat part down. And he told the host, after you throw it, flee, because God gonna come. Like you can run from God. But flee, God is gonna come. So they took off the part of the mountain, threw it on them while they were asleep. And right before it hit them, God lowered the earth that they were on. He lowered it. So the rock hit, they were underneath. It became like a shelter for them. They woke up and was just like, what is this rock covering us? How did it even get here? Like I said, when it hit, it smashed the whole earthquake. It was that big. And once it hit, they look, we're in the shelter. How did we get here? God must have did something. So once he explained to them what happened, they knew what was up. So now she's talking about, let's go back to the shelter from when they tried to kill us. And he made it an awning over us. That's what she's talking about. We can have the babies in there. Then Adam removed Eve to that cave. And when the time came that she should bring forth, she traveled much. She travailed much. Travailed much. So was Adam sorry, and his heart suffered for her sake, for she was nigh unto death, that the word of God to her should be fulfilled. In suffering shalt thou bear a child, and in sorrow shalt thou bring forth thy child. But when Adam saw the strait in which Eve was, he arose and prayed to God and said, O Lord, look upon me with the eye of thy mercy and bring her out of this distress. And God looked at his maid servant Eve and delivered her. And she brought forth her firstborn son, and with him a daughter. And Adam rejoiced at Eve's deliverance, and also over the children she had borne him. And Adam ministered unto Eve in the cave until the end of 8 days, when they named the son Cain and the daughter Luluah. The meaning of Cain is hater. Hey, if you know somebody named Cain, that means they're a hater. Their name literally means hater. Hopefully y'all don't know too many people named Cains. If somebody watching this will get word of it and your name is Cain, your parents should have named you something better. They probably didn't know. But hopefully you're not a hater if your name is Cain, but right here it's very doubtful. Anyway, the meaning of Cain is hater because he hated his sister in their mother's womb. How hateful do you have to be to hate from the time you in the womb? That's a real hater. Think about that. Satan is the hater of all good, and even his name don't mean he's a hater. It just says he's the adversary. But your name means you a hater, and you hated from the time you were in the womb. Goodness. And it says in their mother's womb, they came out of it. Therefore did Adam name him Cain. But Luluah means beautiful, because she was more beautiful than her mother. Look at that. Finer than her mama. Then Adam and Eve waited until Cain and his sister were 40 days old, when Adam said unto Eve, we will make an offering and offer it up in behalf of the children. And Eve said, we will make one offering for the firstborn son, and afterwards we shall make one for the daughter. What do y'all get from this chapter other than what I got? What did y'all get from it?
How did they know he hated his sister in the womb?
Look, if God tell you he hated the sister from in the womb, you go with God saying he was a hater.
Maybe he was fighting her in the womb. I don't know.
Now look, it says she was to the point of death. Maybe that's why.
That was Eve.
Yeah, she was to the point of death.
Birth.
All kind of stuff going on. That's because he in there hating, you know.
Well, it's because of the curse.
Yeah, it's because of the curse and him hating on top of the curse. We don't know. Obviously, something was going on.
The pain is what's bringing her close to death. The labor pains.
And oh, look, and he had to heal his wife. She was almost to the point of death. Adam had to have good enough sense to pray that the Lord help her. And the Lord helped her, like where she didn't die and had the baby.
With the minister in there, this is the meeting her needs.
Right. But it said he prayed. See, hold on. Yeah, in verse 4. But when Adam saw the strait in which Eve was, he arose and prayed to God and said, "O Lord, look upon me with the eye of thy mercy and bring her out of her distress." So he had to pray for the Lord to help her.
Because he was feeling bad for her.
Yeah, she was about to die.
She was hurting.
She was about to die. And your son in here hating. Adam, you was in a terrible situation. Your wife about to die, your son in here hating, doing all kind of stuff. It's not looking good for the first kids of the family. But any of y'all got anything else? Because if not, we're going to go to 75, which is the last one. But y'all got anything else? Nope. Something just hit me from 2 chapters ago. Now, looking at that, we see mermaids are real. Hold on. Matter of fact, let me make sure. Yep. Chapter 72. When it says Satan and his host, they turned into maidens and they came up out the water. That's what a mermaid is short for, mermaiden. They were like, it's a whole lot of us. Mermaids is real, which is crazy. Anyway, because y'all real quiet on that one. I guess y'all ain't want to hear. That's something we see.
Those were apparitions. They were fake.
Yeah, but that's actually something though. They turned into a fake version of the something.
That they duplicated themselves as.
Right. So that lets you know those are actually real. Well, they were real at one point. I don't know if they're still there, but they were real at one point. That's wild. So now when you see that, you ain't going to be like, oh, that's fake. No. But anyway, I'm going to get to 75. The family revisits the cave. Oh, my bad. Then Adam prepared an offering, and he and Eve offered it up for their children and brought it to the altar they had built at first. Then Adam offered up the offering and besought God to accept his offering. Then God accepted Adam's offering and sent a light from heaven that shone upon the offering, and Adam and his son drew near to the offering. But Eve and the daughter did not approach into it. Then Adam came down from upon the altar, and they were joyful. And Adam and Eve waited until the daughter was 80 days old. Then Adam prepared an offering and took it to Eve and to the children. And they went to the altar where Adam offered it up as he was wont, asking the Lord to accept his offering. And the Lord accepted the offering of Adam and Eve. Then Adam, Eve, and the children drew near together and came down from the mountain, rejoicing. But they returned not to the cave in which they were born, but came to the cave of treasures in order that the children should go round it and be blessed with the tokens brought from the garden. But after they had been blessed with these tokens, they went back to the cave in which they were born. However, before Eve had offered up the offering, Adam had taken her and had gone with her to the river of water, in which they threw themselves at first, and there they washed themselves. Adam washed his body, and Eve hers also clean, after the suffering and distress that had come upon them. So that's the first bath right there.
Yeah.
Then Adam and Eve After washing themselves in the river of water, returned every night to the cave of treasures, where they prayed and were blessed, and then went back to their cave where the children were born. So did Adam and Eve until the children had done sucking. Then, when they were weaned, Adam made an offering for the souls of his children, other than the 3 times he made an offering for them every week. When the days of nursing the children were ended, Eve again conceived. And when her days were accomplished, she brought forth another son and daughter, and they named the son Abel and the daughter Achlia. Then at the end of 40 days, Adam made an offering for the son, and at the end of 80 days, he made another offering for the daughter, and did by them as he had done before by Cain and his sister Luluah. He brought them to the cave of treasures, where they received a blessing, and then returned to the cave where they were born. After the birth of these, Eve ceased from childbearing. And that's 75. What do we get from right here?
I wonder why for the offering the days aren't the same for both the son and the daughter.
They did the son at 40
The 40
days and then the
and the
daughter at 80.
yeah.
Half the
Maybe
double the
because
time.
he's the boy.
Right. He's supposed to grow to be a head.
The
So
head, yeah.
yeah, 40 days. And you have her is 80. That's the only way I can see. Other than that, I don't know why.
Yeah.
Other than that, any of y'all have anything? No.
I see too that it shows he did 3 times a week. He made an offering.
Yep, for his children.
Yeah.
But remember, he was already doing offerings. He said they were gonna go do it 3 times a week.
Last week,
Yep, what he said on Wednesdays. Yep,
Wednesday, the
Wednesday, Fridays, and
preparation and the
Sundays.
Sabbath. And the Sabbath.
I don't think it was the Sabbath. I think it was
Yeah,
this.
but
I think it was
it
Sunday.
said Sunday, but it said
Yeah,
the
that wasn't
Sabbath.
Sabbath. It was Sunday. So
In the book it said Sunday, but we were saying the Sabbath is Saturday.
right.
They
So
just put the Sunday in there.
yeah, but he gave
Remember?
right. I know that, but he offered on Sunday because God told him those days that he wanted to do the offering was going to tie into the crucifixion. He was going to die on Wednesday. On Friday is when he was going to be prepared, and he was getting up on Sunday morning, which he did. So it's
So
Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Adam was doing his offering.
so it wasn't on the Sabbath?
No, the Sabbath is Saturday. They just said Sunday. It wasn't there. The Sabbath is Saturday. Sunday he offered, but Sunday's not the Sabbath. But we done. If we finish, hey, that's our bid for this Wednesday. We got into a whole lot of good things, a lot of eye-opening things here, a lot of controversial things here that we could talk about later. If you want to go back and look at it, listen to what was said, read some of these chapters, feel free. Hopefully you guys learned something from it, and hopefully people that watch learn something from it. And next week we're gonna start from right here at we're gonna be 76 to 80. That's what we're gonna be next week. So with that being said, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night. Thank you guys for being here. Love to have you. Can't wait to see you next time. Have a good one. Bye,
Thank
y'all.
you. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.